Are you giving your customers the option to finance your home improvement projects? Well, if not, you should. And you should definitely tune into this episode with my friend Chris Scoville of Improvifi. Chris has decades of experience providing financing solutions to home improvement contractors so that they can serve their customers better and grow their businesses with much more profitability. One of the keys about financing, I'll just tease this episode a little bit, is that you can have a dealer signed up, but if you do not have a system for implementing financing consistently throughout your organization, then you're not going to succeed with it. And Chris breaks all that down on how you can leverage financing to crush your goals in your home improvement business. What's going on, Chris? How you doing, buddy?
Joseph, great to see you again, my friend.
Likewise. You can call me Joe if you want, or, whatever.
Well, my mom called me Christopher, and I will just jump into some fun conversation here to get warmed up.
Yeah.
So we're driving down my wife and I are driving down the road one day, and everybody calls me Scott Scoville. And I think it's just because they visually see the S, the C, and the O, so they'll naturally just go to Scott. So I see something like Scotland something, and my mom's from Scotland, and I called her one day from the road. I can't remember if my wife was with me. And I said, Mom, why didn't you name me Scott? Because everybody calls me Scott. She got so upset, Joe. She was like, your father and I made that name for you. You're named after General Ashley Galloway. Like, she went into this whole spiel. She's like, I can't believe that you don't like your name. I said, easy, Mom. I'm not going to go change my name. It was just a question.
Yeah.
Because I always had thought phonetically Scott Scoville sounded stronger, and it had a complete ending of the first name that then the last name went to Scoville. But instead, Chris Scoville, the S is running. I went through this whole spiel with her. No wonder I made her so upset.
Oh, yeah. Did you have to go to therapy for that? Like your name, just like...
I think my mom had to go to therapy. She was really upset. I still, every time I see her, I'm like, yeah, people still call me Scott.
Well, speaking of names, what's in the name Improvifi? That's a pretty sexy name.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. It was really interesting. Some cool stuff happened. We'll rewind. You and I actually haven't caught up since Best of Success, right?
Yeah.
So at Best of Success, I was working with another lender at the time and was just getting ready to go on our annual snowboard trip out to Utah. And while I was in Utah, another lending entity reached out and said, hey, we've created a position. We've always wanted to work with you. And they went through the offer, and I accepted while I was on the side of the mount. It was a great offer and good company, and I'd always kind of wanted to work with them anyway in one way or another. So I said yes. And then so when I got back from the trip, I had to call the entity that I was with and resign. So I respectfully, gave them proper notice, and it was a Friday at whatever time in the morning. Within 20 minutes, somebody within that organization that I resigned from, called the new hiring place and said, if you hire him, we're going to sue you. They put a stop on it.
Wow.
So the hiring company that had already accepted me and said my start date was on the following Monday or whatever it was, rescinded the offer. So I had resigned and been rescinded within an hour. So I'm sitting here, just got back from our trip, unemployed. I lost my job. I lost my job because I gave my job up. So I had already left. And then they called them and said, you can't have him. He's under a 2-year non-compete. So I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, I don't have a job. So I went and my wife created this company called Improvifi LLC, which is a home improvement lending consulting. We'll talk about it in a sec. But that's where Improvifi came from, out of the necessity that I was now blocked from working for lenders in the lending industry.
That's a crazy story. Have you heard? So you've heard of the app WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So I just read about this week. Brian Acton is the founder of WhatsApp. So the story goes that he was a longtime employee at Yahoo, and I guess he had resigned from Yahoo, and he applied for a job at Twitter and got declined. And then the story that I read was all about like how to keep your perspective and stay positive, and how to frame what could typically be, framed as a loss, like how to frame that as like, hey, it's just part of the journey, right? So he's very active on Twitter. So he just posted like, hey, just got denied by Twitter, I applied there, didn't accept me, whatever. I can't wait to see what my future holds. A few months later, applies to Facebook, and Facebook, didn't offer him the job. So he tweeted about it. All right, that's okay. I'm sure that there's something bigger in store for me in the future. So in the meantime, he started WhatsApp, out of his house. And fast forward a couple years later, Facebook bought him for 19 billion or some crazy number like that. So I feel like your story is very similar.
Oh, it gets better. My wife launches Improvifi. Of course, I can't, work in the lending industry for 2 years. I can't work for a lender. But I work for my wife as a 1099 independent contractor.
Okay.
I called my attorney. My attorney looked at it and he goes, yeah, you got non-competes are going to be going away probably in September anyway. He goes, but you probably want to stay out of hot water. Just don't go work for a lender. And so I created a consulting company that has my wife created the consulting company that has relationships with lenders. And we called it Improvifi. So I took improvement and I put finance and I tried to kind of make it kind of cool, so Improvifi. But a lot of people mess up in their name and they're like, what's this Improvifi? Like trust me, it gets messed up, but it's fine. It's cool. It's Improvifi. It's modern. It's techie.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of fintech stuff over here with the different lending solutions that we have. So that's where Improvifi came from. And then, of course, the launch was in January, right when we got back from Utah. And there was no dust. I was dialing relationships with lenders, getting relationships and contracts signed, and calling contractors, moving people over onto the platform within minutes. By 1 o'clock, I think we had enrolled 33 contractors.
Wow.
So I started the business at 10, and by 1 o'clock, we already had contractors on the platform. And we had enrolled probably close to 775 contractors since this January.
775? Wow.
775 contractors at our finance platforms.
Wow. You're an activator, man.
Dude, this is all I do. So it wasn't rocket science, but we'll talk about it today.
Yeah.
What I learned since January in doing such large numbers, it was never about enrolling 775 contractors in finance platforms. What I learned in doing such volume was that contractors weren't taking action in launching and enrolling and going to market with strategic finance platforms in their business. So my point is this: any contractor could just go and get enrolled with any lender. You can go get enrolled. Where the rubber meets the road is it getting enrolled and taking action and launching it, making it a successful finance platform. So we've done a massive paradigm shift in how we approach the market now because of that.
Cool. Well, that's like, I try to use analogies, right? So it's like, hey, I can sign up for a free Google business profile, but if I'm not requesting reviews from my customers, then it's just going to sit there and collect dust, right?
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely guilty of that. It's ironic that you brought that up. I didn't know how to get into my Google thing that I have for Improvifi today to make some minor changes, and I did that at about 6 o'clock this morning. So we're ramping up because I don't know, I have 36,000 contractors in my portfolio in my database.
Wow.
And I'm guilty. I have tons of people that like me, right? We're on the same groups and people like to work with Scoville and Joe.
Yeah, yeah.
Very rarely say, hey man, I got you enrolled and you're doing 33 million a year now because of me. Like, hey, do you think you can give me a 5-star review?
Yeah, no, we just started focusing on it this year after like a decade, because we were always focused on video testimonials, at conference. That's really powerful. But nowadays, just with trust, everyone wants that extra layer of trust. Now it's just like a game. We're just like, it's not an official competition, but every day I'm like, all right, who can I get?
Yeah, I'm great at speaking from the podium on what needs to be done and what should be done. And yet I'm guilty myself, and it's okay. I'll raise my hand to tell everybody I ain't perfect on what needs to be done. Like Clifton Muckenfuss talk about it all the time, like the R4 method, right? Back when you and I were at Break Free Academy in 2017, 2018, right? Long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? I came up with the R4 method: reviews, referrals, rewards, and retention.
All right. Yeah.
I wanted to create an automated, systematic SaaS tool that could do the R4 method. And I came up with r4method.com. And I'm great at telling contractors how to get more reviews, referrals, rewards, and retention in their business. Yet I'm over here going, am I sending out handwritten postcards to every one of my contractors that enrolled in my finance and my consulting program? No. So I'm guilty. I'm not perfect.
Same, yeah.
No.
It's hard. That's the small business hustle, yeah. So Improvifi, are you guys a lender, or like what? How, like, describe your business?
Sure, absolutely. It took a while for me to get hyper focused on what we are and what we solve. We connect contractors with our portfolio finance partners. We get them enrolled, and then we give them an educational, strategic process to launch the business within their business to get them success. So it's basically 2 steps. We get them, I do an intake, we find out which particular lender is right for them, we get them enrolled, and then we launch their financing platform within their business with educational sources. We've got a whole entire consulting educational platform that I built for them to actually take action. And that's really where the magic was this year, is looking back at the portfolio and going, my God, we've done a great job at enrolling people, but we've done a very poor job. We, or the account managers managing them, have done a poor job at getting them to take action and actually build a successful platform in it. So I've completely shifted my entire business to be 80% how to get this thing to go to market, and 20% is get enrolled, because that's the commodity part of it, is sending your docs in, getting enrolled, getting your portal set up, getting your QR code they can use to your mobile app to take the app. The real part is, how do I teach my sales pros to offer and sell financing at the point of sale? How do our marketing people know which particular keywords to use in an advertisement to get the attention of a consumer? So now we're really digging and going, it was never about getting enrolled. It was about go-to-market strategies. So that's what we're hyper-focused on that.
That's awesome. I mean, that's very, I guess I would say, very similar to our model, where we used to be an agency, and for the past 5 years, we've been an education company. It's like helping our clients build out marketing systems in their business, just play by play, step by step, helping them to systematize marketing. Whereas, a lot of the industry is just like, I just want to, pay someone to make my phone ring. Like, I'm sure in your case, people want to sign up for financing thinking like, all right, cool, check that box, we're good. We got financing now. All right, guys, go sell financing, right?
To that point, what's scary about it was this. So I'll do an analogy because I know you like this stuff. So a contractor has an absolute emergency and a problem. And here's his problem. He's got a customer that's going, I want financing. We need financing. We have to have this. We can't afford this thing, this home improvement, without financing. So this guy's screaming at the contractor. The contractor comes to me and says, I need financing. I've got a customer that absolutely needs it. We're going to lose this damn deal if we don't have financing. So before, just say, okay, cool, here, get enrolled. So then they'd go out, they'd get enrolled, they'd help that customer. And then they put their financing tool back in the toolbox. So here's where the problem is. That's a tree. Here's the forest. They weren't even seeing the forest. They were seeing the one tree in the forest. They weren't seeing all the rest of the people. So now the impact and the results of them getting enrolled and using our training solutions and platform that we built for them is now they get to sell to the entire forest instead of the one tree. That's where the hockey stick curve comes into effect, because we get the sales reps all dialed in with what to say and how to present, how to market it, how to advertise it, how to have a compliant finance page on your website. Like, there's so many different intricacy things that they're not doing that they need to do to just tune it up a little bit, right? I've got a guy out in Colorado that does $13.5 million a year with me. And guess what he does? He does decks. He does patios. He does outside living spaces. That's all he does. $13.5 million a year. 75% of his portfolio is finance.
Wow. Awesome. So you guys what's your team look like? Because, I mean, this is a lot of education and training, I know, from running an education company.
That we're scaling, right? Because we just launched in January. So it's myself.
Okay.
It's my lovely wife, which is the COO. I've got some VAs. We've got some outside people. But then we actually really have fantastic financing partners, right? So from the educational and the training, the consulting side, it's old Scoville over here. From the operations CRM automation follow-up, that's going to be Tiffany. And then we're going to be bringing out some more consultants as well on the training side here very soon.
Wow, you guys are doing some heavy lifting. That's a lot of work.
26 years, man. I think I got her figured out. And I did it already. I've done it. I did it at Beacon. I did it with Owens Corning. I did it my past career when I was at the last company of the last year. I've done it all. I just have never done it really for myself. So it was really turnkey. But my wife is the one that said, go build a university. She said, you're giving away the cow, the milk, and all the farm for free every single day. You're on these calls. Yeah. So I was back to back, dude. It was not easy enrolling that many people in 3 months. I was 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night, every half an hour on the half hour calls. She comes in here and goes, you're done. I go, what do you mean I'm done? Now, mind you, my traffic and my relationships, leads, people call them leads, I call them relationships, are all 100% organic. I've never ran an ad in my life. I wouldn't even know how to. If you said, hey, run an ad on Facebook, I'd be like, let me call somebody because I don't know how to. I've never ran an ad. So all my relationships are organic. But I was setting up half an hour appointment. I was doing it all myself. And now she says, you're done. You're doing one call a day and it's at 11 o'clock. And if they can make it, they can make it. If they can't talk.
Wow. How has that worked out?
We have serious buyers now.
Nice. Oh, I like that little friction.
We've structured it where if you're serious and you really need this, then you get to talk to me at 11 o'clock. Now, however, there are some nuances. I've talked to 3 distributors today. I'm not putting those people on a mass call, right? I've got them up here on my whiteboard, by the way, so I'm staring. Like, these are guys that want me to come into their distributorships of thousands of contractors that they have and build a finance trading platform for them to do business, right? Like, I have one. Don't get me wrong. But for the guy that's like, hey, man, I want to add financing to my business. I'm in roofing. He comes to my 11 o'clock call. We have a great open session. And at the end, it's Q&A, and I educate them. And then we send the information out to them, and then hopefully they come on as a client.
Nice. I like that, man. That's probably created a ton of space for you.
Enough for me to go and really concentrate on what our clients needed, which was an educational platform, which is the real solutions that they needed. It's funny. I commented on Elizabeth Little.
Yeah, Lytle. Yeah.
Lytle. I didn't know how to say it.
I didn't know it either.
Very early, like 6 a.m. this morning. She said something, and I had put this post, and I wrote it on my wall. It says CVS, consistent value stacking. I believe she asked a question on content, on how are you posting your, I'd have to go back and look at it, but I remember it just came to me. I was having a coffee. It was early in the morning. Maybe I just finished Bible study or something.
Yeah, I think it was like, how do you stay in front of people consistently so that when they're ready to buy, they're buy with you?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I said consistent value stacking. Because I don't buy leads or run leads or have ways to pay for them, I have to constantly be posting and educating in all of the platforms that I'm in the social media with value. I've got to educate all the time, bring something value. And then a left hook and a jab with something funny, or maybe a picture of a donut. By the way, I've had 3 donuts today. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to mix it up, but I've got to be bringing value to the marketplace for them to go, man, that guy knows what he's talking about. And then you got to stack it up, because people will sometimes look at today's post and then they may go deep.
Yeah.
They may go over to LinkedIn to see if you're doing the same thing over there too. So consistent value stacking was the word for the day for me to go, I've got to always be bringing the good stuff for my people out there to keep training them and teaching them. And that's what's worked.
Yeah, it never stops. I mean, that's how I build my business as well. And it continue to do that. Yeah, we run ads too to amplify some of that, but you never know who's watching. You never know who's out there who is not ready today to sign up with you, but might be ready in, August or November. We actually just got off a call with a new client who enrolled with us yesterday. I met him at a Dimitri event at Dimitri's office when he had the roofing company back in 2018. And he just enrolled as a client yesterday. So, and it's not like we were talking on the phone for 6 years. Like, he was just seeing our content, probably got in our email vortex and, just maybe became a client because you just didn't want to get any more emails. I don't know.
You guys have a great email system, whatever you're doing, man. Like, I get your stuff and I'm like, boom. It's like, I'm so jealous. I'm like, oh, I got to get something dialed in like that.
Oh, well, it's a lot. That's why I kind of laugh, because we do get some complaints about the frequency, because it is, 5 days a week. But we'll figure it out. But for now, the positives outweigh the negatives. So
Well, Grant Cardone said,
yeah,
hit the list.
hit the list. Yeah,
Hit the list. I
mean,
remember I was at his 10X event when he said it.
It works. I mean, just staying consistent, it works. I mean, every day.
I just don't know if we're allowed to hit the list anymore, though, because like you could be judged as a spammer and then they can report you. I mean, it's not hit the list anymore. It's like, be careful. It's like you're yelling across the room, be careful hitting the list.
Yes, it's certainly a dance. Yeah. So let's get into some patterns, Chris. I mean, you've been at it 26 years. You see a lot of patterns in terms of like, hey, the companies that really succeed with offering financing, what are they doing? And then on the flip side of that, the companies that just struggle with it, like, what are they not doing? You want to talk about that?
Sure. It goes hand in hand with the material that we've created. So let's talk about the ones that succeed. And let's talk about it from the ground up. They started somewhere. Somebody had an idea somewhere that said, you know what, we should probably sign up with some financing company. So someone said somewhere that, you know what, our stuff's expensive. Let's give people an affordable payment option at the point of sale so they can buy this expensive thing. So that's where it all started. So then they probably, I'm talking success, they got enrolled with a lender, and that lender probably had an account rep. And that account rep took that contractor, and he brought him in, and he coddled him. And he was a make market contractor, not a take market contractor. I'll explain what that is in a moment. And he coddled him and he trained him and he taught him. He said, here's your app. And here's how you present these 2 programs at the point of sale. And here's your laminate that you should take in to the sales at the point of sale. You should set that laminate down so when you're up in the attic or you're out selling the air conditioner, you're up on the roof, when you come back, you got something to talk to them about. You got these 2 programs here to talk to them about. And then then they're successful because, well, when you presented the $25,000 roof replacement, it really was $25, was it? No, it was $189 a month payment, or it was 6 months savings cash. So then what we've done to make them successful is we've taken the pain and the friction out of the buying process. We've taken the big contract price and we've reduced it to the ridiculousness. And we've made it easy for the customer to do what? We've made it easier for them to say yes. So now the customer's like, okay, that's cool. I dig the payment. Wow, I didn't know that you could even finance this thing. This is really cool. And then the guy opens up his technology thing that makes it easy. And then they take the app, and it's a soft credit pull, and he gets approved in 30 seconds. And then he goes, I don't want $189 a month. I want $149 a month. So he chooses the $149 a month payment instead. And the deal's locked. And the finance agreement is locked. And the guy goes out, and he goes outside. He calls his office. He's like, they're sold, and can we get these guys on the books for next week? And Anna in the office says, absolutely, I'm going to get the permit set. We'll get it booked for next week. And the sales rep's excited. And he goes out and does another sale because he's pumped up. And then this homeowner is happy because they are shocked. They had no idea that they offered payment solutions because they didn't have it on their website. But when they found out that it was super affordable, they said yes. And then they found out that it was no prepayment penalty. So if they do sell their house in 3 years, they can pay the loan off. So the consumer is super stoked that they've got this loan because they didn't know where they were going to find the $25,000 from, by the way. And then that guy goes out and does it every single day. And then the owner goes, man, thank goodness we enrolled with that lender. Maybe we should start marketing and advertising it. Maybe we should start letting the community know in our 5 Mile Famous processes that we have financing. Hey, everybody, we offer 12 months same as cash. Or if you prefer loan with the payment option, 100% financing is here. So now let's put it on our trucks. And that's it. That's success. And it started with somebody saying, hey, I got an idea. Let's go get hooked up with this lender. And then it was some sales rep that had the guts to offer it at the point of sale, but he knew how because he had the systems and processes in place. And he knew how to use the tool because his sales rep at the place was smart and trained them. And the homeowner was happy, so he told 16 people at church, work, and school that, man, I'm getting a new roof and I got to finance it. We didn't know how we didn't know they were $25,000. That's real expensive, but we got this payment option. So now the roots are going in the ground for more relationships. That's the definition of a successful launch of a contractor that took a chance, added it to his business, and went on. That's called make market. Take market is when you've got a contractor that's been doing it for years, since the 80s, and they are just out there price shopping for the best deal. They'll go from lender to lender, and they'll leave a lender for a quarter basis point of a dealer fee reduction with no problem, qualms whatsoever, going from lender to lender. Now, I love working with all of them, but I really love working with the make market guy, because if I can take him from here and turn him into, a $1 million guy and turn him into a $3 million guy in a couple years and impact his life, impact his customers' lives, impact his kids' lives, help his profitability, then I've really made a big difference. So I really like working with the make market guys. Just leave you, just kind of jump around on the pot. Now, some large lenders and industries out there love working with the take market, because to them, they're just chasing the top 10, 15%, because they want the big $150 million a year guy, right? I'm okay working with a guy that's 1 million, that's committed to making this part of his business. And trust me, I'm going to get you there, brother, because this is what I've done for a long, long time. So
Awesome.
that's the difference. That's the guy that's winning.
Just like Chris is providing education to his customers to help them build out financing programs in their businesses, Contractor Dynamics helps roofing companies build and run their own marketing. You can pay for Google ads, you can pay for Facebook ads, you can buy billboards and truck wraps, but if you don't have a system for running your marketing with consistency and predictability, then you're not going to succeed with it. That's exactly what my team and I help you with at Contractor Dynamics inside of our marketing training program and our standalone courses for things like Facebook ads and Google ads. If you'd like to learn more about any of that stuff and how we can help you guys level up with marketing, head on over to contractordynamics.com or click the link below this video or audio. We'll be happy to help you out. I love that. You paint that picture with the storytelling, amazing. You paint that picture really clearly. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's your winner. So limiting beliefs, what else do we call it? Scarcity mindset. Not all of us have our limiting beliefs and our scarcity mindset. Well, you can say, oh, I don't have any. Yeah, we do. Look, some contractors will have an attitude and a thought process to say one or two things. They'll say, I don't need it. All my customers pay cash. Or there's another aspect is, I'm not going to pay a lender dealer fees for me bringing people to the finance company. So those are scarcity and limiting mindset beliefs. When in actuality, the only reason why a contractor would say all my customers pay cash is because they've never actually offered financing. Because my next question to someone that says, hey, all my customers pay cash is, that's awesome. I could appreciate that. You got a very interesting marketplace. Congratulations, by the way. But do you take credit cards? And they'll say, well, absolutely. I've been taking credit cards since the inception of business. I said, fantastic. You are offering financing. Good. I'm glad we got rid of that misnomer. Because a credit card is a form of financing. You're just, however, putting a lot of stress on your customer because they got to pay that off in 30 days or else their interest rate's horrible on a revolver. So you are offering financing and you are paying a 3% swipe fee unless you're Mr. Amex or Mr. Discover himself and don't have to pay swipe fees. But you're already paying that and you should be building that into your margins anyway. The margins conversation and training is for another day. I can train you on that as well. So you are offering financing. But what if I could tell you I could give you financing today with no dealer fee and or a 2% flat dealer fee and solve all the problems? And that's a very simple conversation. So with that being said, that's your guy. And then, I read this article today in Remodeler talking about remodeling slows at a moderating rate. Let me tell you how slow it went. It went from 463 billion a year to 451 billion. Ooh, what a slowdown. So with that being said, don't tell me all your customers pay cash, because the data that's reported to Harvard Joint Studies, which I sit on that board, by the way, says otherwise. Those people are not all paying cash. They're using some form of leverage from a lender to get the damn home improvement done. So stop.
Right.
Seeing your limiting belief. That's the guy that's not doing well, man. The guy that can't unfortunately get out of his way, or he has not been educated properly on how this whole thing can change his life and his customers' lives.
You could be talking about marketing or financing. The same thing applies, right? It's that
mindset.
Wait a second. You're on the board of what? Harvard what?
Harvard Joint Studies.
Wow.
For modeling.
Wow.
I'm not there anymore, but I sat there for 2 or 3 years. That's up in Boston. Is that up where you are?
I live in Jersey, but I went to Boston College, so I was up there for 4 years. Yeah.
Dude, have you ever been on their website to go read their studies?
On Harvard?
Harvard Joint Studies for the remodeling.
No, I have not.
Oh man, you got to get over there. You've got Harvard Joint Studies. Actually, this was done by them. It's the Lira report. Yeah, this was done by the Lira report. Yep, right here. Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University. This is the Lira report. And also HIRI report. IRA.
Okay.
Dude, the data is undeniably the best data that I've ever seen in my life, and it is real. When I was up there for the 2 or 3 years with these guys, and I was in the meeting, I was there, Green Sky was there, and some other lenders were there, and really high-end remodeling, design, build companies were there. Man, the stuff that you would learn in that room was unbelievable, because I'm not into that stuff, but I was there from a realistic point to go, these are the real numbers, and they've got
All right. I guess this might be the first time we've had kind of a Harvard guy on the podcast. So,
well, I didn't go to Harvard, but I did sit on the board.
You're in the room, so that's good enough.
I was at the table, maybe.
Nice, leveling up the IQ of our Nailed It podcast.
I can already see the reel that's going to be ran on this one.
Yeah, the hook, the first couple seconds, or the caption right there is Chris Scoville.
Scoville went to Harvard? Yeah, I went there for a beer.
My boy's wicked smart.
Wicked smart. I lived up there for quite a while. I was up in Rhode Island, and New England was my territory. I lived in Connecticut for a long time, and also in New Jersey. I was in Upper Saddle River. So.
Oh, nice area. A lot of money up there.
Yeah, yeah. It's North Bergen County. Yeah. I worked in the city. I worked in compliance for 4.5 years.
I feel like you've had like a dozen lives.
Well, I'm 53.
All right.
So I was at National Regulatory Services up in Lakeville, Connecticut, up in the Berkshires. And my territory was New York City. So I worked in the boroughs, and I worked in Manhattan, and I worked in corporate compliance for investment advisors, broker dealers, insurance companies, and banks. Yeah, I don't seem like that type of guy. You know what I mean? The beard, the shaved head, the tattoos. I don't seem like the corporate guy that would have done compliance.
Yeah.
But I also worked in banking for 18.5 years. I worked on the wholesale construction and permanent mortgage side of the business since 1993. So I've been doing this a long time, man.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I've lived all over the United States. Heck, I was supposed to be in the Trade Center, in World Trade Center Tower on September 11th. Cantor Fitzgerald was one of my clients.
Oh, wow. That was a big one. They lost a lot of people.
84th floor. So I was supposed to be down there later on that day for an appointment with one of our investment advisor audit attorneys. And of course, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. We were up at the corporate office in Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a tough day.
Wow. All right. What else do you want to talk about here?
No, I just real excited to be on the show. What's happening with you guys? We've been talking about me. You guys are just blowing up the scene. Nothing but good things. No one's throwing eggs at you. What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's that's social media though. There's challenges and problems. I wouldn't say problems, challenges.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Gary Vee already. So have you read his new book?
No, I didn't even know it was out as a deliverable yet.
Oh yeah, it came out May 21st. I can send you one because I have 1,000 of them.
Oh, dude, send away. I've got books back here, and I got books over there. I got books everywhere.
Yeah. So we've got our Arena Mastermind, which you've been in to present to our group.
Oh, by the way, that group was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not questioning. I mean, yeah.
No, your group, dude, they listened and they took action and they reached out, and a lot of them got enrolled. Like, that was a really, really good group you had, man. Like, I've done a lot of trainings for a lot of groups. Yours by far was like this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you guys crushed it. It was a lot of folks coming in on that. I don't owe you any money. I'm just saying.
Oh man. So anyway, yeah, we had Chris Scoville in our arena. So obviously Benny and I are like, well, we kind of hit the pinnacle. Like, where do we go from there? Right. We were able to wheel and deal. We got Gary Vee coming into the arena in July. That's why we bought 1,000 books, kind of wheeling and deal a little bit there. But yeah, we're going to start to promote that next week. We're pumped about that. So
how do you feel about attention?
So attention is necessary in order to, achieve anything. It doesn't need to be social media, right? It could be whatever type. I mean, you need attention for whatever mission you're on, whether it's a charity or a business or a personal brand or, whatever you want to do. I don't believe that all attention is good attention. And sometimes, I mean, deep down, like sometimes I wish I could just kind of not be on social media at all, right? That's kind of like that fantasy, ultimately for me, because I think about it a lot, the positive impact outweighs any, negativity. So I'm very intentional about that. But like, yeah, I mean, some days I dream of like, all right, because, you talked about that value stack, the consistent value stacking. You got to be in it like every day, so.
Especially if you're not running ads and buying leads, right?
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes it gets exhausting, but you just got to show up every day and do it. I can see myself, like, I do love it because I love, growing the business, attracting awesome people, getting to chat and know people like you. I still struggle with like putting myself out there because I never want it to be like, hey, look at me, I did this cool thing, So there's always a balance. Like, so that's why I just try, like you, I try to lead with so much value to take the attention off of me and just kind of like highlight other people,
Yeah, I love it. I have a saying that I talk about in my trainings. I say people do business with people that they know, they like, they trust, but more importantly, people that they remember.
Yeah.
And I put a lot of emphasis on remember, and then I could take remember and I can drag it back to attention. It's a natural. People will do business with people that they know, like, and trust, but more importantly, remember. Because if you're not memorable, they won't even remember that they knew you and liked you or trusted you. So you have to have some sort of an attention and something memorable or some story that stuck at the point of sale or in a conversation so they even remember to do business with you in the beginning. So when I'm training contractors on how to present financing at the point of sale, my big go-to is tell stories that make things sticky and show, tell, and sell. And what does that mean? That means that, hey, if you're using some technology like Company Cam or Builder Comms, show people, tell people, show, tell, sell. Make your stories memorable. Make them fun, make them real, be memorable in your sales presentation and use the tools that we have given, because if you can show somebody a project that you worked on that looked like this, and in the middle it looked like that, and at the end it looked like that, they're going to remember that. And if something cool happened while you were on that project, like the dog bit you, they're going to remember that, and it's going to make it fun, and they're going to remember your bid against the other two guys. So you've got to do something sticky. They're already going to know you, like you, and trust you. But do something that makes you memorable with your attention that you're trying to seek from your customers. But be empathetic, be real, be authentic, and use stories of other people that you've helped so they know that you can actually help them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the story that you told about, hey, the commonalities among the contractors who are implementing financing successfully. You didn't just be like, okay, they do this, they do that, they do this. You told that whole story and took us on a journey. That's much more memorable.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of different financing options out there. Would you consider yourself like it might sound derogatory, but like middleman or like broker or like?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's funny. I know I struggled with that. I'm a consultant.
Consultant. Okay.
Yeah. And not a broker, because I don't make broker money off of brokery deals per se.
Yeah.
Those brokers out there that are doing that, oh my Lord, I'm not going to name them here because I won't talk badly about them, but run from those things. We're a consultant. So we do an intake. We learn about their business, their market, who they're selling, what they're selling, average ticket price, competitors, marketplace, credit scores. We do a whole analysis and we make sure we get them with the right lender. Number one, then we back that up with a secured lending solution at the point of sale, which stops the customer from going to a local bank and credit union. But what they're not doing is it's a hidden objection. They want you out of the house. They like you. They know you. They might trust you. You might be memorable, but they're going to say, hey, listen, man, Joe, we love you. We're going to buy this air conditioner from you, man. But, we're going to go down to our local bank and we're going to go grab the money. And then we get the money, we're going to call you back. So I've now got a secured lending solution from the point of sale that contractors can pull out of the back pocket to say, hey, you don't need to go to the bank. We're going to bring the bank to you. And in 5 minutes with a soft credit, pull up to $400,000 of secured financing. We do that here right now. So if I can value stack the financing partnerships for my clients as a consultant and then give them the added piece of the training, it's a full turnkey solution, business in the box.
Love that. That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
There's nobody in the marketplace that does what I do.
Wow. Okay. Category of one.
Well, no, there is. There's Justin Hatcher over at One in Fund. They've got something very similar. Really great guy, competitor. I'm super friendly with all the people I compete against, by the way. Great guys, great technology, trusting. He worked at Tundra. I think it was Tundra. He's with Brian Gottlieb and those guys. Like, really good dude. They've got some cool stuff over that they're doing as well. But I think it's just me and him. And and then it's us against the lenders. Contractors can go directly to a lender, and yes, you can get enrolled. You can do that. Good luck. You might get stuck with a college kid that just got out of college inside of not that there's anything wrong with college, but doesn't have 26 years of experience. He's never been in a house and gotten thrown out of the house. He doesn't know home improvements. He's never swung a hammer. And the guy's just in there reading off of a script telling you how to sell financing. So you can do it, but probably not a good idea.
All right. I love that. Well, how can people learn more and get in touch with you at Improvifi to check out more about it?
Yeah, like Improvifi.com, right? So the letters.com, that'll get right to us. And then, of course, we'll schedule up on a daily call, or if you prefer a one-on-one, we can do that. Or you can go to the socials, right? I think it's Christopher Scoville on the Facebook, Christopher Scoville on LinkedIn, Chris_Scoville on Instagram. Oh, and I've got a YouTube channel with over 200 plus contractor finance training courses.
Wow.
Class videos on it. I've been stacking that thing up for years, man. You know what's funny about that, Joe, is this. When you look back at your old stuff, like everything that I've done is super branded. It's black, it's white, it's black, it's white, it's green. It's everything's got a beautiful thing on it. And then you go back like a year and a half ago, and it's just like random Scoville like sitting there like this before the camera starts.
Oh yeah. It's so funny you mentioned that. I still have it up in my browser as a tab. Just yesterday, someone was asking me about, we were interviewing for this admin position, and the interviewee was like, why'd you start this business? And I was kind of telling the story, and then I decided to go back to YouTube and look up my first video I ever did, which is 9 years ago. It's like this 3-minute video. It's so cringe. Like, oh man. But
I rewatched one yesterday of a video that I did. It'd be 2019 because I was working for a commercial lender at the time. And I hired a videographer from Miami to go up and video me in all these different B-rolls. We glued it together, and I was so cheesy and so funny and so stupid. And we watched it and we laughed, and I go, wow, I've really gotten better.
Yeah.
Like, I've really gotten better. It was funny, man. But it was good. From the production that I saw back then, it was actually a really good video.
Right.
Man, it was funny watching it because it was so cheesy.
Well, yeah, you want it to be cringy. Like, that means you're growing and improving. Like, Tim Brown and I talked about this too,
Improvifi.
There you go. All right, Chris. Well, thanks so much for your for sharing with us here today. I had a lot of fun. Do you have a couple of minutes to do a couple lightning round questions so the audience gets to know you a little bit better?
Love it. I hope I do well.
All right. So we talked about books. You got your library back there. You're going to get the Gary Vee book. What are you currently reading?
I am reading the book of John.
Cool. In the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So I was down at DT Roofing, Randy Hurtado and their group, and we did a Bible study before I trained them last week. I stole a Bible. There's a whole story on this. I stole one of the Bible, and it got me to the book of John, so I just started reading the book of John.
Nice. See, there's another story, folks. You got to tell stories and make it memorable. All right. So you could be any kitchen appliance that you choose. What kitchen appliance would you be and why?
Ninja blender. Because it just completely dominates and destroys everything that's put into it.
Nice. What's your favorite thing to put into it?
I don't eat them, but if you ask me that question real quick, I'll do a smoothie. I do like a yogurt and banana and blackberry smoothie with the yogurt and the low-fat milk.
Nice. We have the NutriBullet, and we use the NutriBullet every day for smoothies. It's so convenient.
You put anything in that Ninja blender, and then it destroys it, man.
It sounds like something that's on the QVC channel, late at night. Ninja blender.
I think I saw one where they put the cell phone in there and they turned it on.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. It comes with a free set of steak knives.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool. What are you doing on a free Saturday?
Oh, man, definitely. And chilling out back in the pool with my dogs, and we're grilling on the grill. I'm spending some time with my wife. Maybe we're out walking around, taking the beach cruisers down to the beach. We live right by the beach over here. That's going to be the chill Saturday mode.
Dude, same here, man. It's the simple things. Our perfect Saturday is workout, go to the beach with friends, come back to our pool, barbecue, hang out. That's it, man. It's so simple.
Simple. Got the dog, got the wife, got the music, got the barbecue, have the beach cruisers. We're good.
Nice. I love that. Where in Florida are you again?
I'm at Deerfield Beach.
Deerfield. Okay.
Feel sorry for somebody that has the word beach in the city that they live in.
There you go. I was born in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. That's pretty cool. All right. What's your next travel destination, Chris?
I believe our next is Chicago Marathon.
Well, enjoy that. Chicago's great. The summer, I assume? Yeah.
I think it's fall. I think it's September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not traveling till then?
No, I don't travel, man. I got a business to build, bro.
I hear you, man. I'm heads down for a little while here. I got some personal travel this summer, but yeah, just got to focus on building the biz.
That's it.
Cool, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Chris. Great to catch up and learn more about Improvifi.
For sure, man. I thank you so much for having me.
All right, there you go, guys. You got a little behind the scenes there. We had a little bit of fun. We can't not have fun with Chris Scoville. He's just a fun guy to be around. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. Hope you got some nuggets out of it. Head on over to improvifi.com. Connect with Chris on social media and level up your business. Help more of your customers. Help your sales team be more successful and just crush your goals. Let's go.